Viewer discretion is advised.
What up, heel faction? Welcome back to Heel Shit. Why do we call it that? Because bad guys do heel shit. I'm Dark Chords. That's Draven Grimes. This is Fantasy Wars. And this week's topic is what if WCW had won the Monday Night Wars? We're going to go back and forth, give our particular fantasy bookings, and then we're going to discuss and go from there. So, be right back.
Cool. Living fast, we ain't slowing down. Always ready to turn it around. Heel shit podcast, where the bad boys play, never following the norm, always causing pain.
All right, we are back. What's going on with you, brother? You all right?
Just another lovely Sunday afternoon. Our Lord and Savior, Lord Poseidon, has decided to grace us with his presence.
Yes.
Hopefully we don't lose power.
Doesn't matter. We got the best UPC in the game now. We ain't
Not
going
a sponsor.
Well, I didn't say what their names were.
I'm alright, dude. Very interested in this one because a lot of our shows are more WWE based, are WCW based. And obviously you're more the WCW guy, I'm more the WWE guy when it comes to this particular format. So it's going to be real interesting to see, A, how far back you went to start this, and B, how far you dove into this to see how granular you.
Okay.
So,
well,
how far back did you go? Because I asked that. Because I figured you'd do a little bit of back prep on this one. As with me, I just kind of flip-flop the purchase of said company.
Okay. So yeah, my booking starts at WrestleMania 14, which is 1998. And WrestleMania 14 just happens to be at about the 81st week of the 83 weeks.
Okay.
So anyone other than Vince McMahon would have given up by that time. So I'm going off the assumption that WCW purchased WWF at the very tail end of the 83 weeks.
Damn. That's going to change. Okay. So, again, here's my issue on it. I'm just going to let you run your entire scenario.
Mm-hmm.
My original thought was we just hung back and forth because I halfway figured that you had started when the actual merger, so to speak, or buyout, so to speak, happened, which was the week before WrestleMania 17 in 2001. But since that's not the case, and I think we kind of did our notes a little differently than what we normally do. Normally, I do more of a show-to-show kind of booking.
Yeah.
This one, not really. I kind of hit like key points, impacts, some talents that would transfer over, some that refuse, some that may have, and the reason. And also like big feuds, title unifications.
Sure.
So, floor is yours.
All right. So, like I said, I'm going back to when the 81st week of the infamous 83 weeks. 83 weeks, what we refer to as the time, 83 consecutive weeks when WCW beat WWF in the ratings.
Correct.
So that's the 83 weeks I keep referring to. So at about 81 weeks, WrestleMania 14 happens. It's one of the best pay-per-views of all time.
Agreed.
Not fucking with the pay-per-view. Okay? But immediately after Stone Cold versus HBK, Austin raised his hands, but then Bischoff, Hogan, Hall, and Nash come out.
With Voodoo Child?
With Voodoo Child.
That's here. Okay. I'm with it.
So they come out, say, hey, we just bought you guys. Welcome to where the bad boys play, which was where WCW's old saying. Everyone's confusing, looking around. From the rafters, Sting rappels down right behind the new champion, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay.
Scorpion Death Drop on to Austin. That sets up a feud that's going to last the year.
Okay.
Okay. That's the big time feud right now. So when we leave WrestleMania 14, WCW had just had a pay-per-view the week before.
Okay.
So they don't have one until April.
So let me ask you this, because a lot of things happened on the Raw after WrestleMania 14. Obviously, with Austin, they dropped the Winged Eagle. The new version of DX got reformed with Triple H, China, Road Dogg, Billy Gunn. Are all these scenarios still in play?
Yes.
Okay.
Other than I assume that they are taking a little bit of directional cues from where the stories were going. So yes, DX is back together, blah blah blah. But the problem is, from WrestleMania forward, no no main event caliber wrestlers have seen wrestle on television. You're gonna see like the DX come together, whatever. But none of them got wrestle spots. All the mid carders got squashed the entire month.
Okay.
Okay. And the first pay per view after WrestleMania is Spring Stampede. WCW only pay per view. Purposely leaves the WWF talent off because of pettiness. The mid carders have been squashed. No main events have wrestled. The WWF talent has been complaining about it all month. Now, in the real Spring Stampede, the main event was Savage versus Sting. Savage beat Sting in real life. He does beat Sting again, but it's because Austin interferes.
Okay.
So you've treated us like shit the whole time we've been here. You fuck with me in my match, I'm gonna fuck you up here. Mm-hmm. So now, what's the only way to handle this dispute? WCW Survivor Series. Next pay-per-view, Survivor Series.
Okay. I'm with it.
Okay. We get the traditional Survivor Series match for quote-unquote equal treatment.
Okay.
Bring them into the locker room fully. You got Team WWF, Austin, HBK, Sid, and Rock.
Question. So in this timeline, Sean's back as an injury, and he doesn't fire.
Correct.
Okay. Making sure.
Versus Team Sting, Sting, Hogan, Nash, and Goldberg.
How the fuck does that work? That's a lot of ego.
Ooh. And crazily, Austin pins Sting clean for equal citizenship, we'll say.
Okay.
Now, I didn't go into booking like a bunch of these other pay-per-views. I went to the ones I thought were going to be interesting. Halloween Havoc this year turned into a gimmick pay-per-view. All multi-men eliminator matches.
Oh.
All right. 1, DX versus the Horseman. I'm not picking one. This is gimmick pay-per-view.
I'm just like, in my opinion.
You're going to like this one. The Brood versus the Flock.
Fuck! Flock. My God.
I know.
Fuck.
The Ministry versus NWO Wolfpack. And the Corporation versus NWO.
Oh, fuck the corporation.
Yeah.
especially if fucking Vince and or Shane is in the fucking match themselves. Fuck it.
All right. Now, they had a pay-per-view in 98 called World War III. I remember. I thought that this would be the perfect time to just be straight up great matches.
Okay.
Like matches we would, just it's a gimmick pay-per-view.
Kind of a Forbidden Door kind of
a
style.
Forbidden Door style.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got Owen Hart versus Benoit.
Wow.
And we're done with this whole Blue Blazer bullshit. Like, he ends that.
Well, in this time,
At this time, he wasn't that yet.
Yeah, I'm about to say this time he was with the Nation of Domination.
Yeah.
So there was none of that bullshit.
We're not doing that bullshit.
Thank God.
So it's the real Owen Hart versus Chris Benoit in '98.
That's a dream.
A comic book match: Ken Shamrock versus Glacier.
Comic book.
Because they're both martial artists. It's just like, and Glacier is like a fictional character. Like,
Made more sense if you put fucking Canyon in the Mortis mask and have them fucking work each other.
oh man, you just gotta be martial arts versus martial arts here.
Then what was fuck? Comma. Godfather's old gimmick. That fucking MMA. That's more comic-y, but I get where you're going.
All right, then we got The Rock versus DDP when DDP was at his hottest.
And The Rock was barely fucking over mid-card, so unless you fucking fast-tracked him and skipped the
he's already he's already had his nation run or whatnot.
Yeah, but he's still on the rise, and 99's where like really peaked. I'd say like Survivor Series 98 when he won the title for Mankind. Actual timeline. That's when he started really becoming a main eventer. But either way,
well, this is in November, so that's
either way, DDP's got to go over.
Yeah. I got Ahmed Johnson versus Goldberg.
That 90 seconds.
It's however long it has to be.
It's Ahmed Johnson, dude. I've never been a fan of his.
Yeah, but they're the two biggest dogs in the yard at the time.
Physical stature, yeah.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Then we get a women's match. We get Sable versus Medusa.
Just go ahead and tell Sable not to come.
Well, she was like the legit wrestling diva at the time. Like, there was nobody.
That's not saying much.
That's not saying much at all. But I'm just.
Well, no. Jacqueline came in at 90.
And you got APA versus the recently reuniting Steiner brothers.
Okay, so. So here's my thing with the APA, and I get it. This is your timeline. You do it however you want because you also put the fucking Ministry of Darkness together a year before they were supposed to. Is this Ministry of Darkness APA or is this post Ministry? They broke off their own thing because it was really two different kind of style of tag team.
I guess it'd be Ministry.
Signers go over.
Yeah.
Now it feels like actual APA, like this Bradshaw and Farouk by themselves. That'd be a fucking barn burner.
All right, well, let's say it's that then.
Match gets thrown out because they're all fucking hotheads.
Yeah.
That'd be the one match where I don't put a winner.
Yeah. And then the headline of that one is Sting and HBK.
Ooh. On.
Probably got to go, Sean.
Better wrestler.
Yeah.
I know that hurts to hear, but
hey, Sting was an all-around great. He was a good wrestler, great gimmicks, good on the mic.
Yeah, but
Sean was the best wrestler. Yeah, he's the best wrestler.
I know that. I know that's going to piss off a lot of John Cena fans, but John is the greatest of all time.
Oh yeah,
and that's coming from the aforementioned greatest of all time, Ric Flair. When the original greatest of all time says he's the greatest of all time, fuck. Anyway, now I assume Sting's WCW champion at the time.
Yes.
And that was non-title. Or did you fucking put the title on?
No, I put. Yeah. Well, at that time, at the end of that, he was not. If I had extended it to WrestleMania, he was probably going to take Stone Cold's belt. But,
okay.
No.
All right.
Nope, that's pretty much the end for me for that booking. So let's throw it to a commercial, and then we'll come back and see what you got to say. What up, Heel Faction? Today's day and age, internet security is of paramount importance. That's why today's sponsor is Surfshark VPN. Tell them about it, Draven.
Dude, it's really quite simple. VPNs are the way of the future. Keeps your stuff secure, safe, and out of hackers' hands. You want to go watch Netflix over in Japan? Flip that shit over. You want to go watch the capital P word, and you can't because you're in one of these states that got it banned? Flip that shit over to another country. Really quite simple.
Absolutely. Keeps your information safe, out of the hands of hackers. VPNs, as Draven said, are the future. If you use the link in the description, you can get Surfshark VPN for 88% off plus 3 free months.
Damn, that's quite a steal.
Yeah, we're talking about less than $2 per month plus 3 free months if you sign up using the link in the description. Safe surfing, happy surfing, keep your shit safe. We'll get back to the show. All right, we are back. Want to remind everyone about the YouTube memberships. Check that little join button right down in this area here. $1.99 a month gets you pretty much everything. Get you all the merch at cost, no markup whatsoever. You get all the members only videos, everything like that. There is a $4.99 tier that includes a Zoom call. We just had the Zoom call this morning. For those of you who actually sent in your email addresses to us so we could send out the invites.
Yep.
But yeah, so a lot of good stuff on there. So just check out those perks, and we'd love to have you as a member. So I just did my booking for the rest of 98, starting from 98.
Mm-hmm.
What say you?
First off, I'm not paying $200 for a fucking VCR off Amazon.
I
Get that out of the way.
I can agree with that.
They really mean you can find anything on Amazon. But holy shit, I ain't paying that fucking God. So, you went a different route than I did. All right? You went to where the Monday Night Wars ended. Quote unquote. I'm going to where the company ended. We're going to start 2001. We're going to start the week of WrestleMania 17, which is when Vince came out and announced that he purchased WCW, blah, blah, blah. And then the following week, I believe, was the simulcast where Shane came out and all.
Huh?
Erase all that shit. Okay? So, I'm not really doing this week to week, booking to booking to booking. I'm doing this more of the business side. Who bought what, how much it was bought for, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So let's start in 2001. We're going to start in March, same fucking week. Instead of Vince buying WCW, Eric Bischoff's group, Music Media Ventures, purchases the for, at this time, undisclosed amount of money.
Huh?
Which is going to be a whole lot more than what fucking Vince paid for WCW.
Yeah.
Because of this, Bischoff brings Ted Turner back into the mix, wants to make it a major asset for TNT and TBS once again.
Huh?
WCW becomes the brand with a new merged company, rebranding the WWF programming under WCW Global Wrestling.
Okay.
Man takes a buyout and leaves. Thank fucking Christ. So we don't have to deal with any of that bullshit here in 2025.
Right.
All right. So the key impacts of this, WCW instantly inherits the WWF's TV contracts from USA, TNN/Spike, all the global deals, pay-per-view deals, merch deals from various toy stores, Walmart, Target, shit like that.
Yeah.
WCW gains a financially healthy infrastructure and mainstream prestige of the WWF brands and most of its stars.
Okay.
They were basically offered a deal. You can come work with us or you can't. Simple as that.
Okay.
Immediate roster situation. these are the ones that I say from main event, upper mid card, shit like that, actually signed over, and we'll get into why. Austin, obvious reasons. Rock, obvious reasons. My surprise when Triple H, because remember, this is about the time that him and Stephanie were very deep into a relationship. They weren't married yet, but they were very deep in that relationship.
Right.
Okay. Another surprise was going to be The Undertaker.
Wow.
Because Undertaker's always been a Vince boy, right?
Sure has.
Okay. Kurt Angle, Kane, Jericho re-signs with WCW. Chris Benoit re-signs with WCW once he returns, because at this time he had a major injury in mid to late 2001.
Right.
So he's been out. Edge and Christian. All right.
Okay.
Upper mid-card guys, Big Show, Regal, the Hardys, the Dudleys, Test, Rikishi, the usual suspects. The highlights that are going to be highlighted for this merger moving forward for the WCW side is going to be Goldberg, obviously. Sting, obviously. Booker T, because they really put the company on Booker T's back at that time, and
They
I
really
feel that's
did.
where they need to keep.
Yep.
Scott Steiner and DDP.
Okay.
I'm a DDP.
It's all right.
All right, and then I can go through the mid card and shit if we want, but it's the usual suspects for there too. Tag teams. At this time, WCW didn't have a lot of legitimate tag teams, so I just pulled out 3: Natural Born Thrillers, the Young Dragons, and the Filthy Animals.
Okay.
Because as much as I like 3 count, I don't see them being in tag team. All right, so the reasoning behind my signing for Austin. Huge star power, and the company can't afford to lose somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
WCW offers him double his original contract amount
Good God.
and top creative control.
Whew.
And Bischoff said he would push Austin as the WWF guy of the locker room.
Makes sense.
Okay. Rock stays. Biggest crossover in the star in the industry. Obviously, we'll get in the Rock down the road. WCW needs to ensure mainstream sponsorships and Hollywood connections, because at this time, he was just dipping his toe into Hollywood. We had Walking Tall. We was getting the Rundown, the Scorpion King, shit like that. Some of the worst fucking movies I've ever seen next to the fucking Rundown. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
I
I actually like the Rundown.
like Walking Tall better.
Like, I knew it's not Oscar worthy. It's not a great film, but it's a fun movie. And I like the other kid.
Sean William Scott.
Yeah. Huh?
Dude, to me, he's always just going to be Stifler. And I can't see him in any other role than that. And anytime he tries to play another role, it's just like, where the fuck is your mom?
What up, Thomas? We're talking about what if WCW won the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah, so Brock stays, obviously. Triple H. So I kind of fast tracked this one. He's already married into the McMahon. But now that Vince has done a buyout, there's no more legitimate funds coming into the family, et cetera, et cetera. He needs a job, basically. So WCW signs him for the same amount he was already signed for WWF. Still wants to protect his legacy and stay on top. And they put him in the top heel spot. Obviously being a WCW. Undertaker. All right?
Taker.
Come to find out, he's not loyal to Vince. He's loyal to professional wrestling. And as being a locker room leader and somebody who's well respected in any locker room he's ever walked in, they did not want to lose him.
All right.
Bischoff offers him double of his original contract.
Woo!
All right. Jericho stays basically because they're going to promise him a main event spot. That's all he wants. Awesome. William Regal stays because he respects Bischoff. He's flexible to work with, and he wants to work more backstage at this time, which is what he's granted. Big Show stays because, let's face it, he needs the fucking cash. This was prime Big Show spending all his fucking cash at this time. Dudley boys got re-signed because they want to build the tag team division around the Dudley. Hardy boys, basically they want to turn them heel and be the yin to Dudley's yang. Raven, fucking Raven. Give him full creative control and he'll stay. So here's a couple of maybes, and I want to ask you about these.
Sure.
Kurt Angle. 2001, he's still green as fuck.
I think because of how quickly he developed, you have to keep him. I would definitely offer him at least what he was being paid at the time.
This is also back when he was also thinking about doing it.
Which is just more crossover promotion.
But would WCW allow something that quote unquote dangerous at this point in time? Because obviously Vince didn't.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. They were always a little bit looser with the rules.
Obviously. So he's a maybe. Edge and Christian. What say you? You've already got the Hardys and the Dudleys. They're going to build the tag team division.
And I think that they fit in perfectly there. They've done how much work with both of those other teams?
Yes, but that's going into 2000.
Right.
So
I say yeah.
Okay. Rey Mysterio.
Well, I mean, WCW was his first mainstream promotion. So I don't know the story about why he left WCW.
Mask. They made him a mask, and he just finished off his contract. And once the contract was up, he refused to resign. So, do they make good with Ray?
Yeah, I think you have to. I think they purposely were trying to build that cruiserweight division and that the whole wrestlers division with Malenko and all that shit. So I think you have to try to get Ray.
I put these three together, because I enjoyed them in the mid 2000s in WWE, but they were a pillar of the cruiserweight division. The Kosas, Juventud, and Super Crazy. Extra brownie point if you can tell me what their fucking group was called. Came out on lawnmowers.
The LWO?
No. They were the Mexicools.
Oh, the Mexicools, yes. The Mexicools. But they were both in WCW before.
I know, but these
or all three of them were in WCW
but
before.
Remember, we're building a bigger roster, and we're keeping pretty much all the WCW guys, but these are the ones I highlighted.
Yeah. I think to fill that, if they're still interested in building that cruiserweight style division, I think you got to have them.
These two, they've never been a legitimate tag team, but I want to put them here together because they went to another company at the same time. Barry Lynn and Christopher Day.
I think I let them do their thing and wind up in TNA.
Okay. I'm right there with you because I didn't even bother putting AJ on this because that's where I want AJ to.
Yeah.
I want him to build. This one?
Yep.
Brock Lesnar. No VW at this time. Training up. But remember, WCW absorbed all the WWF stuff, including the developmental.
Yep.
2 more names on here I'm going to fucking pop off too.
Fuck. And he was only in developmental in 2001.
Yep. He just came out of college.
Oh, shit. Okay,
what if
you have to bring that athlete at least down to the power plant. Like, you've got to... I think you have to keep him just in case he becomes Brock Lesnar.
Well, what if we say we don't debut him now? What if we debuted him in 2002 like he originally was?
It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, no, keep him in developmental, but don't cut ties with old boy. He might become Brock Lesnar. You know?
I think he would definitely become like that era Brock Lesnar that could actually fucking wrestle versus that era Goldberg that could actually half-ass wrestle. Fucking done deal.
It's money.
Main events.
Money.
Randy Orton and John Cena, also in OVW at this time.
I think if you go and you see Randy Orton wrestle one match, you've got to keep him. Cena's a different story, though.
Cena's a workhorse, though.
Cena's a workhorse. He's got a great look.
But Cena wasn't known for his work. He was known for his skill on the mic.
Yeah.
Because he could draw that heat. That was what the whole prototype gimmick was him drawing heat the whole time.
Yeah,
You could still build this into what it is today. I don't know about Never See 17.
right.
But you'll definitely have this generation.
Would you see that if you don't know anything about John Cena except what you see at OVW?
You still got to take the chance on him.
I think so too.
Okay.
He's a tougher call to me because, to me, one visit to see a Randy Orton match, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that you get that on any random night that John Cena is wrestling back then. So that's where that is.
Okay. Good. So, possible returns. Ain't gonna lie, a couple of these are on here just because I want to hear you fucking rant. We're gonna start with the first one.
Well, hold up. Before we get into these, let's throw it to our next commercial break, and we will be right back.
Vodka, Ebol, Castell. Indulge in the Red Revolution.
All right, thank you, Castell Vodka, and everybody. Mateo, thank you so much for joining the heel faction. Just like Mateo, if you see this join button down here in this area, check it out. We've got 2 tiers, $1.99, which pretty much gets you everything you need. You get the merch at cost, no markup. You got the members only videos. You got the emojis and all that shit. Then we have a $4.99 tier, which has a monthly Zoom call. We just had it this morning for the guys who paid attention to the posts and sent me their email addresses.
Very interesting.
You get we follow you back on the social media, stuff like that. So there's more personalized communication. So yeah, love to have you as a member.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you got some returns you want.
Possible returns.
Huh?
And I already know where I'm going with these, just because one of them, fuck them, straight up fuck them. But one's more of a life and health situation that I don't want to return. But I want your opinion because you were really in tune to the WCW brand around this time. The Hulk Hogan. That's how I said enough.
It's so hard because you pretty much owe all 83 weeks to Hogan and Hall and Nash. Like, they're the most important catalyst for them to become as profitable as they were. 2001, though?
This is post Bass at the Beach, where he walked out, where he told the whole company to kiss his ass. This was like Hogan's done. Would you, and this is the scenario I'm gonna give you, would you let Hogan walk back in that company after telling that company to kiss your ass just for another money grab?
No, there's no fucking way. No, fuck Hogan. After you pull that kind of shit, when you burn a bridge, you don't know that the other side of that bridge may be the only place you can fucking go.
Exactly. You can always go to TNA.
Like,
wait, he did. We saw how that went.
Yeah, we saw that. But back then,
it was
the Fed and WCW.
Or you go to Japan.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, no, fuck him.
All right. These next two, I gotta put them together because they're known collectively.
Yeah.
Hall and Nash. This is heavy into Hall's drinking problem. This is heavy into Nash's creative control, where he was only putting himself over at the time.
They'd have to make some concessions. I would try, but if they didn't meet certain concessions like that, creative control is fucking done.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's my main thing.
And that, there's got to be
Scott's got to go to rehab.
Got to be rehab. Got to be, clauses in the contracts like, no public disparagement.
Mm-hmm.
Can't make us look bad, and fucking Scott Hall's puking in the street is something that would make him look bad.
And I'm right there with you.
What up, Hallie?
I would definitely bring them back in. Scott's got to get himself clean.
Yep.
Let the company pay for it. Have some good fucking will, because let's face it, like you said, most of these 83 weeks is because of Hall, Nash, and Hogan.
Yep.
WCW, GW, or whatever the fuck I call it, owes it to Hall to at least put him in rehab to try to give him that step forward.
I agree.
As far as Nash goes, you got to cut the creative control. Because remember, I only gave one guy majority creative control to get him re-signed. That was Austin.
Yep.
And Austin's going to do what he thinks is good for business,
right?
Not for himself.
Not for himself.
That's why. That's why the whole Austin Lesnar thing in 2002 didn't happen.
Yeah.
Because it did not fucking make sense for fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin to lose to Brock Lesnar on a Monday Night Raw. That was a pay-per-view quality match, and I would die on that hill.
Oh, absolutely. Fuck yeah, it was. So yeah, I think you got to do your best, but you can't let them run amok like that shit anymore.
No. And the last one, Bret Hart. And this is post-concussion. This is all that shit.
He comes off that $20 million mark.
What if we just put him in a backstage role or a managerial role?
Oh, I think he's a brilliant mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could definitely use him.
So let's play like this. Let's play Over the Edge 99 didn't fucking happen, and Owen
What
didn't
up,
die.
Ethan?
Let's say Owen's a part of this roster. You put Bret with Owen as his manager. Wow.
Lewis, thank you for joining the Hill Faction Plus tier. Thank you so much.
You would have done this 6 hours prior, you would have been on the Zoom call. It'd been very interesting. Very fucking interesting. All right, so Bret Hart. You like my little scenario of just putting him with Owen as his manager? Because this is post-concussion. This is post he can't wrestle anymore.
Right.
He's still fucking hating Goldberg for whatever fucking reason.
I would probably give him a managerial spot, but definitely give him a producer spot.
Okay.
He's too much of a mind to let go away.
Okay.
Granted, those positions come with a pay cut. Unfortunately.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah.
Because what was his contract?
Gideon?
What was his contract for WCW when he signed?
I can't remember.
It was
4 or 5, probably.
It was a 5-year deal at whatever amount per year.
Yeah.
So it was like a $20 million
$20
contract. Yeah, okay. So these are the angles that I have in mind for post-WrestleMania. Austin Goldberg. Finally get that taken care of.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
The Rock and Booker T.
Okay.
Okay. Triple H and Sting.
Okay.
Okay. Undertaker and DDP. They have great chemistry. They've never had a one-on-one match. I want to see it happen.
That'll work.
Jericho and Rey Mysterio in the Cruiserweight division.
Okay.
Kurt Angle and Scott Steiner.
Ooh, that one hit me in the cockles. Hit me in the cockles.
And obviously, we'll unify the titles. WCW World Heavyweight Championship becomes it. I'm still in something from
Thank you, Shelley.
I'm gonna steal something from AEW here. We're gonna merge the United States title, Intercontinental title, make the international title.
All right.
And international title. This makes more sense. We drop the hardcore title completely.
Okay.
Cruiserweight division
Cruiserweight division
gets its own show. Kind of like how 205 Live was, but it's pushed to a prominent role.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
So for the branding, Nitro and Thunder replace Raw and SmackDown. That's fucking given.
Yeah.
They'll do a couple of developmental shows for like the power plant guys to like Heat Velocity. Didn't really name for those. Call them fucking power plant hours. WrestleMania becomes Starcade.
That's. I don't like that.
May not like it, but that's what's about to happen.
Fuck your feelings. Fuck your feelings, Dark.
And we steal something from 20 fucking years later. Survivor Series becomes War Games.
Not such a bad idea.
But we keep the Royal Rumble.
Okay. We keep SummerSlam.
No, I want to change it, but I just couldn't pinpoint
What?
a name I want to change it to.
Do they stay at the same times of the year?
Yeah, Big Four.
Okay, so
you got those big four. You got Halloween Havoc, which is going to be its own like major show. That's going to be like WrestleMania is the 12, Halloween Havoc's the 6. So instead of one big show a year, we get two.
okay.
Kind of like one season for one show, one season for another show. We build them up every 6 months.
Okay. I like it.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm doing there.
Could be dope.
Now, as
Could
far
be
as
dope.
SummerSlam goes, fucking name.
They didn't have any iconic names for their pay-per-views, like other than Starcade or Bash at the Beach
Or Great American Bash. Well,
Great American Bash, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I'd put that in like the 4th of July weekend, though. I wouldn't put that in August.
No. Thank you, Jonas.
That could be a Night of Champions. Yes. Just be a showcase show.
Okay.
So we'll probably run it that. Not really important. It's just one of those things my fucking mind went shut up about.
I like it.
But WrestleMania Starcade. Fuck your feeling.
That's the first bad decision I've.
Fine. What would you replace WrestleMania with?
I would keep that brand name, without question. What goes there? I would keep the brand name.
Okay, merge it. Call it WrestleCade.
Isn't there one of those somewhere already?
Somewhere in WCW.
I don't know. I think you keep the WCW pay-per-views as they were and replace the month's pay-per-view with the Big Four. The Starcade has always been in December. You can give that extra oomph as far as importance.
Yeah, but we can turn the December pay-per-view into Armageddon. Either way, fuck your feelings.
Fuck my feelings.
Fuck your feelings. All right, financial picture. With WWF's financial
Well, hold
backbone.
on. Let's throw it to our final commercial break.
All right.
Let me introduce you to our new sponsor, Smackin' Sunflower Seeds. Check this out. They sent us this huge box of samples with all these amazing flavors. From traditional flavors like the OG and ranch, unique flavors like cinnamon churro, and my favorite, backyard barbecue.
Absolutely, man. Let's not forget the garlic parmesan, the cracked black pepper, and my personal favorite, the maple brown sugar. It is grade A, phenomenal, my guy.
So me, Draven, and Miner all sat down, went through all these flavors. Of course, we each had our favorite, but one thing we agreed on, this is an amazing brand. If you're a sunflower seed eater, you definitely need to check this out. If you're not a sunflower seed eater, you still need to check these out because they got a flavor that you like without question. Miner's favorite was dill pickle. I like the barbecue. Use the link in the description and enjoy.
All right, we are back. Let's plug the merch real quick.
The merch.
The
The merch is fucking
Beautiful.
beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. As always, you can get Hill Shit Podcast merchandise. You can get the Smack and the Benjamin. You can get the 316 as well as all of Forbidden Kingdom, Dark Horse, Draven Grimes, Ripper Louise, the Fuck Logan Paul shirt, all that shit and more at the merch site down below. And if you are a premium member of our channel, you have access to merch at cost in a separate link.
All
The
right.
fuck? Oh, Elwood. Elwood. You're very close to me. Get the fuck. You can also get this hoodie. This hoodie. This fucking hoodie. Also, like, get the fuck out. Go, get by, go, shoot.
Jesus Christ, Elwood.
Smells like your dirty laundry.
Word of advice to all you podcasters out there: don't hire hobos. Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. God damn it. Draven's ripping down the whole goddamn scene over here, laughing at that one. Holy shit.
Ah, shit. Got a Charlie horse.
Oh, he's got a Charlie horse.
Fuck your feelings.
Fuck my feelings. Fuck my feelings. Fuck your feelings.
Ouch. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh.
He's coming back.
I'm coming. But yeah, all the merch and link below.
Yeah, link below
Good
for the
shit.
merch.
Oh, where the fuck was I? Oh. I'm good, I think.
You're about to go into the financial state of the union post reverse purchase.
Reverse purchase, okay.
Reverse purchase. Son of a bitch. All right, guys, we're about to get it back together now.
Yeah.
But seriously, don't hire hobos.
Oh, definitely. Where the fuck is all my shit? God damn it. It's all down here somewhere. Communication, branding.
So I was in New Smyrna Beach this past week. It was really nice down there. If you're ever in Florida, I highly recommend it. Oh, you ready?
Let's talk about your sunburn, bitch. I'm ready. Fuck me. So anyway,
It's a low blow.
back to our regularly scheduled. No. The low blow was when I went to the fucking beach last time and was as red as this fucking title from the tip of my head to the bottom of my feet.
And I was sympathetic with you.
Somewhat. On camera.
I was, yeah.
Off camera, he wanted to poke me.
No. You wanted me to rub oil on you, and I ain't doing that shit.
No, I wanted you to rub lotion.
That too.
Aloe vera.
Whatever. Something squeezing out of a bottle. Something with viscosity.
I'm done. I'm fucking done. Can we finish this fucking show? Because I'm fucking done.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
Fuck you, John. So, financial picture. Obviously, with WCW acquiring WWF, the financial backbone, it avoids folding over. Ted Turner's brought back in to do all the television production and shit like that. Pay-per-view numbers double in fucking stature. Because not only do you have the WWF fans, you have the WCW fans watching the same shit at the same fucking time. All right, biggest differences. The ruthless aggression era never fucking happens. Nothing moving forward ever fucking happens.
Everything's changed. Nothing ever happens.
Yeah, no. Fuck your feelings.
None of the good shit happens.
No, we don't get Shawn Michaels coming back in 2002. We don't get no pipe bomb. We don't get the return of the dead man. He just stays the American
Hey, Punk
badass.
was in development at the time, wasn't he?
He was in the Indies.
Oh,
He signed with Ring of Honor in 2003.
fuck.
All right, then. So this is what's going to hurt my heart, and I'm going to ask you about this because we talked about it a while ago.
Fuck your feelings.
Gotta fuck yours too. Jeff Jarrett stays on WCW payroll. What happens to TNA?
There is no TNA.
Or is there?
Who else would do it?
Developmental. Because it was Jeff and Jerry Jarrett.
Right.
Jerry wasn't on fucking WCW payroll.
No.
What if we put Jerry Jarrett in charge of it, make it a developmental?
Okay.
Oh, Monday Night Wars.
So TNA is your NXT.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So the Monday Night Wars is flipped. Obviously, WCW becomes the victor. Orton, Cena, Lesnar, they get signed with WCW instead of WWE. God knows if we ever get the Doctor of Thugonomics, if we get Evolution, if we get the Beast Incarnate, the next big thing. We don't know where that goes. But we all can agree upon them three are going to be big stars in some way, shape, or form. I do see them putting the company on Randy's back, pushing him like WWE pushed Cena.
I can see that.
I don't see him fucking beating 16, but I see him tying 16. Because what's one name I haven't fucking mentioned on this bitch?
Ric Flair.
Rick motherfucking Flair. Because nobody wants the fucking nature boy in their locker room shitting on himself.
No.
Woo!
Fuck Ric Flair.
Fuck Ric Flair. And the Cruiserweight division, like I said, gets its own television show, gets its own airtime, and becomes its own fucking thing.
I like it.
What it should have fucking happened when WCW decided to do a Cruiserweight division.
Right.
So that's where I'm at. Thoughts, questions, queries. Besides Starcade.
No, it's really interesting because I like how, other than the fact that we knew the topic, we were so different in our approach to this.
Mm-hmm.
Like you went into, which is normally kind of my thing, is just going into what the big picture of the industry would be like. And I'm glad one of us had that perspective. But I like it.
Well, it would have been too easy for me to go into a booking thing and I book out the whole fucking year. We saw just how granular I got with the Shawn Michaels booking for 1 year. Imagine me doing that for multiple people, for multiple angles.
Oh, look.
What's up?
Vincent, thank you for joining the Heel Faction. Thank you so much, brother.
So I kind of like spared us a 5.5 hour fucking show, so to speak, by kind of taking your point of view, which I thought that's the way you were going to go anyway, and we can just like confirm and deny whatever the fuck we have going on. But I'm kind of glad you kind of took it from my point of view.
Right.
I was just my one question has to be, what would have changed if you did it from my time slot instead of your time? Because you were
so many of the dream matches that I had.
Prime WCW era. I'm at the shit end of the fucking stick where it's got to get
right.
Where you almost really need the WWF roster to
There was, just to me, so many dream matches at the time. It wasn't like so far out of left field because they had won 80 plus weeks of ratings up to that point. So it's not like I picked some arbitrary time frame.
Right.
I just thought that was a good version of both of them. And they both had amazing stars at the time. Top stars. Mount Rushmore stars at the time.
So let me ask you this then. This goes into your other area of expertise on the show. If this happened and Vince wasn't in charge, would AEW come to be? Would there be a reason for AEW to come to be?
A competitor would have to exist. So it could be an AEW or it could be something that's more entertainment based.
Well, let me throw some fire on this, or some gas on the fire here. Why do you think ROH didn't fucking pan out the way they wanted it to? WWE.
Do you think Ring of Honor failed though?
I ain't saying it's failing. I'm saying it didn't get to where it needed to be. Because there was a lot of WWE backdooring, keeping them from going to bigger venues, bigger television slots and shit like that. I don't think WCW would have done that.
I don't either.
I think Ted Turner always wants competition. I think if anything, he would have helped Ring of Honor.
Maybe.
Ring of Honor would have become the alternative.
Well, I mean, that's okay. AEW itself may not, but I'm just saying that a competitor has to exist.
That's what I'm saying. But what if it was?
Ring of Honor could have been.
Exactly. And then you got the merger with New Japan working with them. You got CMLL working with them. And what's saying fucking WCW isn't so fucking closed-minded that they don't work with other fucking promotions and bring other fucking promotions in. And truly become a world wrestling organization. What if instead of Starcade we have Forbidden Door and we have every company of relevance in the fucking world work that one show? Again, this kind of goes back to what if Bret Hart, whatever. It changes every fucking thing. I don't see us having AEW. I don't see us having, first to say, I don't see us having a Swerve Strickland. I don't see us having a Hangman Page. I see us with Kenny and the Young Fucks being the main people. I don't even really see Cody Rhodes. Not the Cody Rhodes we have. Might still be the white meat babyface trying to work off the legacy of his father. But let's face it, WCW still in business. So is the American Dream, baby.
So the American Dream.
So
It's the suit play, Tony.
yeah, so I don't ever see the American Nightmare coming.
Yeah.
I don't see Evolution.
No, you're probably right. I mean,
if Ring of Honor becomes the alternative, I don't see CM Punk. I see CM Punk being the main guy of Ring of Honor, alongside with Kenny and the Fucks.
see, I think the only way to avoid some of those problems is to keep half and half of the writers and producers from each place.
She was 2001 WCW writers were so fucking shit, dude.
Yeah.
You need to completely reset them. Hire new ones in their place, but don't bring in the entire WWF writer team. If anything,
Maybe not the entire, but they were certainly writing better television
if anything,
in your timeline.
if anything, go back and fucking go back to a championship committee. Go back to having actual bookers. Don't have fucking writers.
Right.
Hell, one booker does it every Wednesday night, and it's somewhat decent. So imagine if you had a room full of bookers that actually knew what the fuck they're doing. Not fucking Vince Russo. He can kick fucking rocks. Bro. Do not have Eric Bischoff in that fucking production room. Have him run all the business shit, but don't have him have anything to do with the fucking wrestling side. Put JJ in there. Put fucking Corny in there. Put JR in that motherfucker. Bring in some newer talents. That's why I want to like Jerry Lynn in there, because he's a hell of a fucking mind in AEW. Have him fucking work there. Have Christopher Daniels work fucking backstage in that shit. We don't need a fucking writing team. We just need a room full of fucking bookers that know what the fuck they're doing and can fucking coexist.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can see that.
Yep.
I can see that. Well, I enjoyed that one.
Mm-hmm. That was interesting. That was my brain hurt a little. Not gonna lie.
Well, do you have enough brain cells to take us out?
Yeah, as soon as I find something real quick on my thing, then I gotta pull up what we're doing next week. Or actually, this coming up week.
Coming up week?
This coming up week, and you're gonna like this one. So before we get there, ladies and gentlemen, do not forget this Tuesday night we will be having Weekend Wrestling with Dark Horse, Draven Grimes, and Edgar from the Snug Wrestling Podcast. We will be going over Night of Champions. The ins, the outs, the goods, a couple of the fucking bads, and everything else to come from that, as well as anything that comes from fucking Monday Night Raw if something happens between now and then. And as always, we will be back here Thursday night, regular time for
Fantasy Wars!
You put that on the fucking thing. Yep, Fantasy Wars, where this one, what if AEW formed in 2015 instead of 2019?
What if what?
AEW formed in 2015 instead of 2019.
Good Lord.
Think about who all would have joined early pre-WWE contracts and how it would have impacted not only NXT but New Japan Pro Wrestling.
God damn it.
Make you think on this one, ain't I? And of course, next week, same fucking HSP time, same HSP channel, the original Hill Shit podcast with your boys, Dark Horse, Draven Grimes. We'll be going over a plethora of other topics as well. Don't forget to hit all the social media links, Facebook, Twitter, Twervo, obviously the YouTube, the TikTok, the Fippy Fappy, the Instagrams, and all that other good shit. And I think that's about it. Oh, one more time for the ones that weren't on here. Don't forget the merch. Is beautiful. Sit the fuck down. Do not come back over here. Heel Shit Podcast merchandise, Forbidden Kingdom merchandise, Dark Horse, Draven Grimes, Ripper Ruiz, the Fuck Logan Paul shirts, the Smacking the Benjamin, the GAT 316, and so much more right there on the merch site.
That's it.
Link in description.
Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. For Draven Grimes, I'm Dark Chords. This has been Heel Shit. Why
do we call it that?
I'm going to rewind that.
You sure? Because I can finish this off.
For Draven Grimes, I'm Dark Chords. This has been Heel Shit. Why do we call it that? Because bad guys do heel shit. Peace.
Heel Shit Podcast, where the bad boys reign, never following the norm.